Welcome to a solo edition of the Postgame show. I'm your host from the Weekly Rebound, Greg Horne. It's just me. I've been left for dead by my fellow interns, Connor and Julian and the boys. But we got some good stuff to talk about. It's week 8, so it's not the worst week to do a solo show. And, we got some pre-playoff matchups, and we got some playoff matchups with some recurring matchups from, a few weeks ago. We got some friendly faces, some familiar faces, and, we got a lot of milestone watches. We got Kyle Davis going for his second ring. We got Devon Pratt going for his 5th. We got Reggie going for his 4th or 5th. I'm not sure. Eric Langston going for his 5th. Mike Davis going for his 7th. Alex Rivera going for his 1st. Jay Velez going for his 2nd. We got a lot of guys in this league. Jason Hernandez sneakily might be going for his 3rd too. I got to check. But got a lot of milestones coming up, a lot of good games coming up. But we got a really good week of legacy action, so I'm going to get into it. And then we'll kind of get to the playoff preview. But first up, we had the NLMB boys, the little tongue twister name there. Going up against Street Ballers, and NLMB took them out here. This is kind of what we've seen from this NLMB team throughout this year. When they're shooting the 3 ball really well, it's just really hard to stop them. And Dessou and Dante were just incredible in this one. Alex Willis had a really good game, and I think he's going to be big going forward for them. And then someone like Jesse Coachman giving them 18 on 9 of 11 shooting is just huge. And I think for this NLMB team, going to the playoffs, they're going to be facing. They're going to be facing Street Ballers, and I think, they just beat Street Ballers, in this game, and this is going to be a rematch, and this was a close game going down to the wire into the 4th quarter, and then NLMB kind of pulled away, so I think for them, they kind of just have to do what they've been doing this season and just keep grinding, keep grooving. I know Rocco Swenson, again, wasn't there, so he might be out for the rest of the year. Maybe he'll be there for playoffs. I'm not sure, but, if they get him back, I think they can make a run because, we'll go through my bracket prediction soon, but if I had to guess, I would think they're going to move on to play TMC or Syndicate, and I'd say the same for Get Money. So for NLMB, you need Rocco Swenson to beat them, but they just need to keep doing their thing, stay hot from 3, work the ball around, good team basketball. I love the NLMB boys, and they play the game the right way. As far as Street Ballers go, too many turnovers. Shout out my guy Mel Kwan, but 9 turnovers, and then Hoito with 5. Those guys are phenomenal scorers, phenomenal defenders, good rebounders, but you can't be having 16 turnovers between the two. 13 turnovers between the two. And, it just doesn't help. It's not cohesive of a good basketball team. And they have the talent, they have the skill, they have the bodies. In this game, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had a full squad this game. And I think for them, that's big, especially for, keeping your wind up and just, the stamina is a big thing, especially come playoff time. We played a lot of games, and, it's middle of February. It's cold out. So coming to this game ready and having a bunch of bench spots is great for your depth. I just think for the Street Ballers, they lost this game by 11. And, those 11 points could be attributed to, NLMB had 9 turnovers. Street Ballers had 18. And then those 9 extra turnovers gives NLMB a few more buckets. So I think for the Street Ballers, just kind of focus on not turning the ball over too much. But Benji and the boys, they're doing their thing out there. Benji had a rough game out there. I don't think Benji will have a game like that in the playoffs. He's a big-time performer. So for the Street Ballers, just kind of keep pushing. But for NLMB, in the right direction, you want to get a win before the playoffs, absolutely. Moving to our next game, and speaking of a team who's in the right direction and wanted a win before the playoffs, it was the Get Money boys. And the Get Money boys are coming off a rough loss to Run TMC, 93-89, and Get Money took it out on More Power in this one. They took down More Power 82-56. And this was the Tyshee McCray and Jacob Morales show. Tyshee has been phenomenal. Let's put some respect on Tyshee McCray this year. Tyshee McCray is shooting 75% from the three-point line this year. And I know he hasn't taken that many, but he's 9 for 12. And in the past, he's been around that 37-39% mark. So he is just playing some phenomenal basketball. And he obviously is one of the best defenders we have in this league. I did vote him all-team defense because he's incredible. And what he does, he sets the tone for this team. So, you run out of words, good adjectives you can say about Tyshee because he just does it all for the boys out there. And then Jacob Morales has really stepped up for this team, without Kyle Davis, without Chad McCoy. And this Jacob Morales has just really fit like a glove. He's really played really well this season. He's hitting his free throws. Tyron McCray is starting to look a little better. He's still figuring it out. He's still getting, his legs back from his injury, but he looks great out there. DeMar Whitaker's really, really playing well. He's going to be an X factor for those boys going into the playoffs. So if we Get Money, it's kind of more of the usual. I'll talk about them a little later. But for More Power, we're going to need a better three-point shooting showing. You can't make 4 threes and beat Get Money. I know Get Money only made 6 threes on the night, but they're way more efficient. They had the talent, and they also didn't have Kyle Davis there. For more power, like I said, like, Dennis Jennings, solid game, but 1 of 5 from three. And then you just have the other guys missing threes. And they're going to need to find a way to start hitting some threes if they're going to want to pull an upset off in the playoffs, because they're going to be playing the Syndicate. And the Syndicate, they shoot threes. The Syndicate are one of those teams that they're incredibly talented and they're incredibly skilled, and they have made the most threes in the league. And they've also taken the second most or the third most threes in the league. So they're firing away. So for more power, I'm going to need to see you guys shoot the three-point ball a little better. If they can't, it is what it is. You ran into a wagon that is the Syndicate, but I think they're going to need that three-point ball falling if they're going to keep up with the Syndicate in their next round matchup. And it was kind of the same for this one. They just didn't have enough to compete with Get Money. That first quarter they're down 19-8, and then the rest of the game they always found themselves down. They got outscored 16-12 in the second, 20-17 in the third, 27-19 in the fourth. So the margin wasn't wide, but it slowly adds up, and the next thing you know, you're down by 30. So more power, like I said, kind of find that three ball flowing. But I just want to give a quick shout out to Nate Otero. Nate Otero, I voted him as an all-star. He's quietly having a really, really, really good year in this league. He's averaging 16 a game on 50% shooting about 35% from the field, 5 rebounds a game, about a steal, about an assist. He's a good player. He plays hard, and he's not afraid of anyone. He goes right at Mike Davis when they played. He goes right at Ty Sheen. So I respect Nate Otero and these boys, but they're going to need the three ball falling if they're going to want to make some noise come playoff time. Speaking of a team that's hoping to make some noise come playoff time, and speaking of a team that needs the three ball to fall, that is BTFO and Run TMC. And Run TMC smacked BTFO 144-109. And I mean, man, stop me if you heard this before. Joseph Carter is unstoppable. Reggie Stewart had a great game with 42 points, 4 of 9 from 3, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Reggie's doing what he's doing. But Joe Carter is just incredible. I mean, I don't know how you stop this guy. Joe Carter is going to end the regular season averaging 34 points per game, 78% from the field, 70% from the free throw line, 9 rebounds a game, and assists per game. He is the best player in this league. He is the story of this season. The way he manipulates the game down low, it is incredible. He is such a fun player to watch, and he is truly unstoppable. And then you got guys like Dave Armstrong, Miles Raymond, Devon Pratt. You got Eric Langston out there. Joey wasn't even there. Shaquan Jackson wasn't even there. Dom Migliaro wasn't even there. This team's so deep, so loaded, and we'll get to them later. But as far as the BTFO boys, I want to give a quick shout-out to the 4 that showed up. I've been a part of a game when it's just 4 of you, and I know it's a grind, especially against a team like Run TMC. So I want to give a big shout-out to Tyler Batista, Jay Hemingway, Jamison Brothers, and Kobe McCray. Look, man, you guys fought out there. You played pretty well. This is the type of game, BTFO, that you need. 18 from 51 from 3. Keep doing that. Just keep taking threes. Work the ball around. I love to see 19 assists. I mean, I'm liking it. We got Baptista, with 3. Then he had 5. Then we got Hemingway with 8. We got Brothers with 3. Like, they're passing the ball around. They're working it around, and they're finding open shots. And that's going to be big for this team. They're going to come in and they play Run TMC again. And, after the first quarter, it was 30-28. And then that second quarter and the fourth quarter is really when it shifted. Keep taking those threes. Keep playing hard. Don't let this TMC team – look, if I can give you guys a piece of advice and you're listening, you have to close out every shot. You have to play Reggie from half court. Treat this team like they got Steph Curry and, like, prime LeBron on the floor with Joe Carter, because that's what this team is in this league. And if you can kind of get in their face, make it a little hectic and hit your threes, you can have a shot with an upset. So for BTFO, just kind of keep doing that. But shout out to the 4 boys who were balling out there. They left their heart on the line, and, they fought this season. Speaking of a team that has been fighting this season, it's the Syndicate going up against Lux Gang for our last game of the night. And Syndicate kind of, did what they were usually doing. They beat down on Lux Gang 179. It was a good game going to the fourth quarter, and then it's been a theme for Lux Gang this season, the fourth quarter woes. Rico Santiago played incredible, same with Trayvon Jones. Javon, incredible. Hakeem Trueheart, the midi god, he's phenomenal. They had Jakari Stinson there. Good to see him playing. And, I just think Lux Gang lacks a little depth. They need a few more bodies. And you can see this season they play teams so close and so great. And then the fourth quarter comes around and they get outscored 31-14, and they just can't keep up. And then you got guys like Mike Davis, Jason Hernandez, EJ Linton, Eric Moore. Got Jay Velez, Mikey Fuller, Sexy Lex. I mean, they didn't even have Jaquan or Randy in this game. And I mean, this is just what this Syndicate team does. They're just like Run TMC. They're deep, they're skilled, and they're a bunch of vets. And they're a team who you just don't want to play in the playoffs because they know how to pick their spots. They know what it takes to win, and they know what it takes to win a championship. And that's what the Syndicate team will do. As far as the Lux Gang team, you got to figure out that fourth quarter woes. They're going to go into the playoffs and they're playing get money. And I mean, look, last time Get Money and Lux Gang played, I'll take a look here. Lux Gang beat them. And, if you're wondering why, that fourth quarter, 23-19, they took it to, it was an even game throughout, and Lux Gang gave it to them. So I just think that for this Lux Gang team, you've done it. You've beaten this team before. And I know Kyle Davis wasn't there at that game. That's obviously a big caveat. Shout out KD. He's one of the best players in this league, Kyle Davis. So for Lux Gang, it's going to be repeat that performance 100%. You did it before, so you can do it again. Repeat that performance. But now you're going to have Kyle and Tysheen there. So you're going to have to really stop these guys, limit transition. Look, use your vowels. I mean, let's say you got 4 guys showing up. That's 12. That's 24 vowels. Make them shoot the free throws. Look, if KD's going to go 8 of 11 from the free throw line, Tysheen's going to go 8 of 8 from the free throw line, and you lose, I mean, you can live with that. It is what it is. But you're going to have to get a little crazy here with Get Money, really make them work for their points, because you've beaten them before, and I know it was without a few guys, but, I mean, you got that in your back pocket, Lux Gang. As far as Get Money, I'll get to them shortly, but, Get Money's just kind of rolling, and, they're ready for the playoffs. And, for the Syndicate, Mike Davis, man, they got the GOAT. They got Sexy Lex. I want to give a big shout out quick to Sexy Lex just for what he's done. He came into this league. He's just really done an incredible job of putting a fun team out there for us in the league, for the interns, and for the guys who play in this league. It's fun when you play a good team, and the Syndicate's a fun team to play. They're competitive. They play hard, and I just want to give a tip to the GM. If there's a GM of the Year award, he would absolutely get it. He just, came from, they didn't win a game last year, and now they're the 2-seed lock. So shout out to the Syndicate, who we'll get into shortly. But let's get into this playoff action. So we got some quarterfinal matchups here. I'll read you guys the bracket just for our listeners, and then we'll kind of get going. But we got Run TMC, the 1 seed, facing off against BTFO, the 8 seed. We got NLMB and Street Ballers in the 4-5 matchup, which is always a close one. And then we got Get Money Lux Gang. Like I said, Lux Gang did beat Get Money earlier in this year without Kyle Davis and Tysheen. So that's going to be a good one. And then we got Syndicate More Power. And that's going to be a battle too. And I'll start with the 1-8 seed. I'll make my way through this bracket quick, but I got Run TMC in this one. I just think they're too deep and too strong. I gave my advice to BTFO, but this Run TMC team is just incredible. Shaquan Jackson bringing Joe Carter has just been a cheat code. I mean, this guy has just been incredible. The way he dominates in the paint, and his defense is severely underrated. And then you got guys like Devon Pratt, who's just Mr. Big Shot in this league. Dave Armstrong, best rebounder we've ever seen in this league. Reggie Stewart, who just is incredible. Maybe the best offensive threat we've ever seen in this league. One of the GOATs for sure. And then you got guys like Don Migliaro, who play a leadership role in this team, and Miles Raymond, who, he comes in and you're like, what's this guy going to do? And then he hits you with 15 points in 2 minutes, and he's on the bench. That's what this team has, and that's what this team can do. They're so loaded, so talented, and they're ready. They are ready for the championship run. So I got Run TMC in that one. Then I'm going to go Syndicate, More Power. For Syndicate More Power, the 2-7 matchup, like I told More Power, you got to hit those threes. You're not going to beat Syndicate if you don't hit threes here, and I just think the Syndicate have too much. I think the Syndicate are on a mission to go play Run TMC again. They want that matchup. They want that game. They lost that game on the Reggie Stewart crazy 3-point buzzer beater. So for the Syndicate, I think they're on a mission just like Run TMC is. I think Mike Davis and the boys, Jaquan Bromell has been playing at an MVP level. EJ Linton is one of the most versatile players in this league. Jason Hernandez is just a savvy vet who knows how to get guys their shots. Alex Rivera playing good defense. Then you got guys like Mikey Fuller, Eric Moore, who are just incredible out there, who provide a scoring spark, play good D, and just make the game fun. And they are not afraid of a team like Run TMC. So I got Syndicate in this one. And then we're going to get to now these are the harder games. I'm going to do the 4-5 NLMB Street Ballers. This is a hard one. It's a hard game. This is going to be a battle. I think Street Ballers, this is going to come down to the turnover battle. And I think that Rocco Swenson will be there for NLMB. And I think he will be just a little too much for these boys in this one. And I think NLMB shooting is really what's going to do it. I think at the end of the day, Street Ballers might turn it over a little too much, not hit a few threes. And then NLMB will pull away late in the fourth. But I really think the key to this game is going to be how do some of the role guys play. Especially, when they played this week. You had guys like Tarek McCall getting 5. Jesse Coachman with 18, which is 100% his career high. And then, on the other side, you got Jeremy Acosta with 7, Brandley Sunkar with 7, and then Benji didn't have a great game. So Benji's another X factor, too. I need Benji playing a usual Benji Valentine game. Because 3 from 9 is not what we usually see from Benji. He's about a 46% shooter in this league. He's a good player. He runs this offense, and I expect him to come out firing. But I got an LMB in this one. And then the next one, get money, Lux Gang. Sorry, Lux Gang boys. Sorry, Broadway and Co. I love Lux Gang, but I'm going to get money in this one. I think Kyle Davis will be in. I think Tyson McCrae's having one of his best years, and I think get money is improving a lot. I think they really look like they're taking that next step, and especially when you have guys like Kyle Davis and Tyson is great. Jacob Morales is having a career year. DeMar Whitaker really looks like a new man. He seems like he's figuring out these rims and playing really well. Xavier McCrae is someone who can kind of pop off at any minute. So for this Get Money team, I just think they have too much for Lux Gang. I think Lux Gang is going to fall into the fourth quarter woes again. And late in that fourth quarter, I just think Get Money will outscore them by about 10, and they'll just run away with this one and this one. But, I mean, hey, the 4-5, 6-3 or 3-6 is always a hard matchup. You never know what you're going to get. There's always upsets in Legacy League. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? And then for the next games, we probably have Run TMC. I'm going to save you the suspense. I made it last week. I made my picks. I got TMC Syndicate in the finals, and then I got TMC taking it all. I just think TMC is too deep, too talented, and too skilled. With the combo of Shaquan Jackson, Joe Carter, Reggie Stewart, Devon Pratt, Dave Armstrong. I mean, it feels like I'm listing off the Avengers when I talk about these boys. And it's just incredible what the chemistry this team has along with the talent. They all love having fun with each other. They love playing with each other. They look like a family out there. And there's something special when you watch this Run TMC team. And there's always a belief. They're never out of it. No matter what, you can ask Pratt, you ever feel like you're out of it? And he'll look at you dead in the face serious and say no, because they got Reggie Stewart, they got Quan, they got Joe, and they got Yaga. And when you got that Yaga spirit with you, it's going to be hard to beat TMC and the boys. So I got Run TMC, put that on the bulletin board. Talk shit to me when I'm at Legacy. I'll welcome it all. But I'm pitching my flag in the Run TMC ship this year. But this was a good solo playoff preview. I mean, I'm trying my best over here. You know what I mean? But, for me, Greg Horne, I just want to thank everyone, for a great regular season. Shout out to all our interns, Joey, Connor, Julian, everyone who participates, all the players. I want to shout out Street Ballers, NLMB, Get Money, More Power, Run TMC, BTFO, Lux Gang, and last but not least, it's actually Lex, if you're still watching, King, the Syndicate. But for me, Greg Horne from Legacy Leagues, it has been a great regular season, and we can't wait to crown a new champion. Like I said, we got a lot of legacy-defining championships on the line. I mean, like I said, Reggie Stewart going for his 4th chip, Devon Pratt going for his 5th chip, Mike Davis going for his 7th championship, and Joey Sacco going for his 2nd. For Greg Horne,